Всем хай. Мы играем в Vampyr. Так. Ладно. Пошли уже. Так. Если у него сын есть, то у сына отчество Алаизич. По-любому, сука, Гитлер. Так, здесь закрыто. Вот говно. Ладно. Так, это еще что за нахер? Слышь, это что за... Что за хер такой вообще? Ты кто, блядь? Так. Пусть размеры вулкода не вводят вас в заблуждение. Эти огромные ублюдки не устроят скорость ни одному кровососу. Уничтожить вулкода можно так же, как и всех остальных. Проткнуть и прижать к земле его гнилое тело, а затем отрубить ему голову. Запомните, главное тщательно подготовиться и использовать слабости жертвы. Проблема, конечно, состоит в том, что слабостей у вулкодов нет. Они сильные, быстрые, умные и смертельно опасные. Они настоящие машины для убийства, перед которыми стоит одна простая цель — схватить вас за шею своими огромными лапами. Поэтому, если вам, парни, доведется встретить в бою вулкода, уклонитесь от его атак и постарайтесь разозлить. Наносите ему раны, смейтесь над ним, заставьте его выйти из себя. И если вулкода как следует раздразнить, он приходит в ярость и начинает бездумно нападать. Только так вы сможете получить преимущество в бою с этим зверем. Используйте свой шанс. Ага. Интересно. Даже расследовушку какую-то нашли. Так. Ага. Ебать, опять какие-то загадки. Не люблю загадки, я слишком тупой для них.
I cannot enter. It's locked, all right. I cannot enter.
Так, что надо-то?
It's locked, all right. It's locked.
Чё ты, сука, хочешь? Объясни мне,
It's
пожалуйста.
locked, all right. I cannot enter. It's locked, all right.
Окей. Вообще хуй знает, как это должно работать. Как-то, видимо, должно. Блять, вы откуда вылезли? Да иди ты в жопу. Говно-то развелось, а. Я не понял, что мне надо. Вон оно чё. Хуй догадаешься, называется. Вообще-то так делать некрасиво. Чтоб вы понимали. Так. Колечко какое-то нашли. Так, слышь, клоун. Так, 13 октября 2018 года. После тяжелейшего путешествия наконец-то прибыл из Манчестера в Лондон. А в городе чувствуется печаль и отчаяние. Здесь будет несложно найти женщину, которая мечтает избегнуть смерти. Я мечтаю о том, чтобы как можно быстрее приступить к исследованиям. Скоро я уже не буду девственником. 15 октября 2018 года. Камера готова. Осталось лишь найти подходящую кандидатку и привести ее туда. Она будет прекрасной и ласковой, с хорошим характером. Я уже испытал мою способность к убеждению на нескольких женщинах. Чаще всего она работает. Но я не хочу, чтобы моя будущая невеста была покорной. Свою силу я применю только для того, чтобы привести ее сюда. Затем я расскажу ей, что собираюсь сделать, и позволю ответить согласием. Это важно, моя женщина должна по доброй воле согласиться навечно стать моей женой. Да серьезно, заведешь ты ее, блядь, насильно, но, блядь, такой, ну я ее уговорю, охуеть затея. Не, чувак, это так не работает. 17 октября 2018 года. Кажется, я нашел идеальный вариант. Ее зовут Луиза, и она очаровательна. Она работает официанткой в баре, и я обожаю смотреть на то, как она подает напитки. Сурово и гордо. Сурово и гордо. Хуяк такая, блядь. Перед тобой ставят стакан. Полстакана пива в ебало вылилось. Сурово и гордо. Такая поворачивается жопой. Пошел нахуй. Пидорас. Ай, блядь. Я уверен, что она примет мое предложение, когда она станет моей. Кровь вампира изменит ее. Раны на лице заживут, а шрамы исчезнут. Тогда она обретет идеальную красоту, которую сейчас вижу только я. 18 октября 2018 года. Ничего не понимаю. Луиза мне отказала. Почему? Я обещал ей, что не стану ни к чему ее принуждать. Возможно, я просто ненадолго дам ей поголодать. Тогда она поймет, что у нее только один вариант стать моей женой. Блять, ой, чувак. Это так не работает, понимаешь? Понимаешь, это так не работает. Здорово, мадам.
Are you all right, miss?
Who are you? What do you want from me?
My name is Jonathan Reed. I'm a doctor. What happened to you? Why are you here?
I'm Louise Teasdale. I was kidnapped a few weeks ago by a vampire. Don't laugh, please, sir. It's no joke.
I believe you, Miss Teasdale.
That monster told me my father was dead. That no one was waiting for me outside.
You're safe now. You don't have to worry about the vampire. You should just return home.
Thank you, sir. I hope we'll meet again soon. Because I'd really like you to teach me how to get rid of these creatures.
Ты мне это...
Goodbye, Miss Teasdale. And be careful. Until we meet again.
На уж. Это очень интересная история. Прям скажем. Прям скажем, эта история очень интересная, но нам надо уже по делам спешить. Воу. А вот и церковь. Ладно, с этими людьми мы чуть попозже пообщаемся. Так, где у нас особняк-то его, блядь, ёб твою мать? Попрячутся и особняки. Хер найдешь, как будто у них тут революция была 17-го года, блядь. Все особняки срочно спрятали, чтобы никакие Владимир Ильи Членины, вот чтобы ни одни Членины никуда не попали. А как мне сюда зайти? А то я что-то не догоняю. Это здесь, что ли, особняк? Где особняк-то? Я не понимаю. Я серьезно не догоняю, где его ебучий особняк.
It's locked.
Серьезно, блять. А кто так делает вообще?
Cards never lie, but they are never easy to read.
It's locked.
Я ни хера не понял. Я что-то, блять, вообще не догоняю. Серьезно, блядь. Особняк-то где? Да иди же, посади же. Чё за херь? А можно было это как-то, блядь, сразу написать, что мне надо кого-то там расспросить? Чё за дичь?
The Spanish. Good evening, sir. May I ask you what you're doing here?
Ищу, блядь, особняк какого-то хуя маминого.
About the epidemic in this part of town.
And who are you, sir?
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed from the Pembroke Hospital. May I ask who you are and why all the questions?
I'm Detective Inspector Charles Albright from Scotland Yard. And I don't find your answers convincing. What is a Pembroke doctor doing in the West End at this time of night?
I work for the Ascalon Club. Here is my permit to go freely about the city.
The Ascalon Club? You should have said so, sir. I must warn you, these streets are dangerous, and you'd better be careful.
What are you investigating, exactly?
I have a missing woman, possibly abducted a few nights ago. Louise Teasdale. It seems you already found my other missing person, Mr. Tadao Kimura.
Tell me about Louise Teasdale.
She's a waitress. Her father reported her missing. We don't have enough men to search for her, sadly.
Do you have any idea where she could be?
No. But I feel she's been abducted. She went to a pub a few nights ago and vanished. I thought about the sewers, but I'm not equipped for such an investigation.
Такое
What are
дело,
you
короче.
investigating?
I have a...
Tell me,
She's a...
do you...
No.
Why are you investigating at night?
Criminals rarely act in daylight, you know. But since you are also a night worker, have you noticed anything strange which requires police attention?
Does the name Fergal ring a bell? Fergal Bancher.
Of course it does. Fergal Bancher, the Butcher of Galway. Hung in Dublin in 1857 for murdering more than 20 men with his bare hands. Why are you so interested in dead criminals, sir?
What can you tell me about this district?
I'm the one asking questions, especially when there's a killer on the loose.
What killer?
I'm not going to discuss that with the civilians, sir.
Haven't I told you about the investigation I'm conducting? Perhaps I could help you.
All right, without giving you too much information, I'll tell you this. I'm convinced there is a homicidal maniac on the loose, using the epidemic to disguise his kills.
Интересно.
And what about the epidemic?
We both know the situation is critical, don't we, Doctor? Colleagues of mine die almost every day.
What are you really doing here?
I told you. I'm a detective inspector from Scotland Yard, investigating suspicious cases in the area.
Do you work alone?
Yes, the situation is difficult for the police. Many of us are sick, and since the summer strike, most men apply a work to rule on their patrols.
What about the situation in the East End? Why are there no police there to protect the civilians?
I know, it's a shame, but we just don't have enough men to cover the entire city.
Окей.
Tell me all you know about that homicidal maniac you're looking for.
I'm not even sure there is only one. The wounds are always the same, but the modus operandi varies. Sometimes violent and brutal, sometimes precise and swift.
How could different killers inflict the same wounds?
That's my main problem. If my theory is correct, maybe we're facing a group of individuals sharing the same violent tendencies. Perhaps a sadist cult.
Окей.
Do you know anything in particular about a man called Aloysius Dawson?
Who doesn't know the man? I think he intervened personally to put an end to the police strike of last August.
What else can you tell me about him?
Aloysius Dawson is exactly the kind of powerful and influential man who could commit murder and get away with it, with just one phone call.
Окей, понятно.
What are you investigating?
I have a missing...
Tell me about...
She's a wit...
Do you have...
No.
Да,
Goodbye.
это понятно.
Goodbye. Seems violence and madness are now contagious.
Good
Здорово,
evening, sir.
чувак.
I'm Dr. Reed. Can I be of assistance?
Dr. Reed? Dr. Reed?
Is there anything wrong?
No, it's just... Your name sounds familiar. And your face. Have we met before?
I think I would remember. So I suppose the answer is no.
That's odd. I'm certain I've already heard of you. My name is Pericles Baker. Does that mean anything to you?
I'm afraid not, sir. But it's a pleasure to meet you anyway.
The pleasure is mine, I guess. I only wish I could remember when it was that we met.
Окей.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Baker. What are you doing out here in the middle of the night?
We are waiting for someone.
And why are you waiting for this person?
Because we need to leave this city as soon as possible.
Why do you want to leave the city?
I'm not really sure.
Как интересно.
Can you tell me anything about this district?
As you like asking questions so much, would you allow me to ask you one first?
Please, be my guest.
Do you like this city?
I don't know. I was born and raised in London, but I feel like a stranger here recently.
You didn't answer my question, sir. But I don't blame you. Perhaps it's better that way.
And what do you do, sir? For a living, that is.
I stopped working when I decided to leave. When I realized what I wanted. Wanted something this city can't provide.
But what were you doing before you took this decision?
Does it really matter anymore? Considering the past seems so pointless to me. I have lived in this city all my life. And now I think it's over.
Окей.
Tell me more about why you want to leave London, then.
I just don't belong here anymore. I had to convince my brother to leave London because I know we need to find another life out of the city.
Странные вы какие-то чуваки.
Who are you waiting for? I'm sure he has a name.
I really can't answer that question, since I don't know that person.
And why is that?
This person is mostly my brother's acquaintance. I don't even know his real name. Only that this man could help us leave this city once and for all.
But why would you need this person's help to leave London anyway?
Well, I thought we should have left this cursed place already, but my brother convinced me to stay a while longer, and here we are.
Нихуя
What can you tell me
непонятно.
about Aloysius Dawson?
I've heard this is a man who has searched for his place in the world for a long time. I hope he found it.
Goodbye, Mr. Baker.
Как все сложно и непонятно.
Good evening, sir. I am Dr. Jonathan Reed. Do you need my help?
Yes, please. Would you be kind enough to tell me what the time is?
That's all you need to know.
Well, is it not important to know? As important as where you are? Or who you are?
I suppose you're right. And who are you then, sir?
I am Agamemnon Baker. Like my brother, I think we need to leave this city
Хуя у
immediately.
вас имена.
And my brother and I rarely agree on anything.
May I ask what you're doing outside at this hour of night?
I don't know. You should ask my brother instead. It was his idea in the first place.
You must have your own ideas.
From what I have managed to understand, I guess we're supposed to wait here. Waiting for someone to come.
Это типа, блять, ожидание Годо или что это?
What can you tell me about this part of town?
It's the only place I've considered myself happy. Or at least that's what I believe. Unfortunately, it's time to leave.
Why is that?
Because I'm not feeling happy here anymore. Are you?
No, I'm not.
Good for you. It's a good thing to have a clear idea of where you stand concerning crucial questions. Don't you think?
May I ask why you've not gone already if you're so exasperated by this long wait?
I believe fear is holding us back. My brother would have said it's laziness, but it's just because he's prouder than I am.
What can you tell me about your brother?
He's older than me, I think. But the important thing is that I really hope I'll die before him. Grief would just kill me, you know?
Is that all?
Pericles is very attached to this city, and without my insistence, he would never leave this place. We don't often agree on anything, you see?
Ой, бля. Как с вами тяжело общаться.
Who are you waiting for exactly?
The more I think about it, the more I believe it's not exactly a person we are waiting for.
But what else could it be then?
I don't know. A feeling? An event? An impulse? How can I tell?
Something that would allow us to leave this trap.
Trap? And you think leaving London will free you?
At least it will give us the chance to be free. That's more than our present situation. Hope, Doctor. Hope is what truly drives mankind.
I'm afraid I'm not following you. What kind of trap are you talking about?
Have you ever felt like life trapped you in a role that does not fit you? That you're not in your place? That sort of trap.
Ой,
What
бля.
can you tell me about Aloysius Dawson?
You should ask that question to my brother instead. Personally, I've not seen Aloysius for many years.
Ясно,
Goodbye for now,
понятно.
Mr. Good evening. Pericles, tell me why your brother disagrees with your presence here.
Agamemnon is naive sometimes. Although don't consider him a fool, sir. He is often more lucid than me.
At least you both have the same difficulty explaining what you're doing, and for what reason.
But is that not a common problem for all mortals?
What can you tell me about your brother?
If you are searching for a pleasant chat, you should speak with him instead of wasting your time with me. He's always been the more gentle of us.
That's it? That's all you can tell me about him?
For the time being, true kindness is the most valuable quality, my good sir.
Goodbye, Mr.
Hello
Так.
again, Doctor.
Ясно, понятно.
Goodbye.
Это, конечно, блядь, жесть. Так, мадам. Да иди же,
It's
посади
locked,
же,
all
а.
right.
If you're not too tired, could you look at me? Aren't you the sweetest daughter ever? Carol, give your mummy a kiss. Kiss.
Я нихуя не понимаю, блядь. Вот серьезно. Чё за поебота? Почему нельзя просто, блядь, вот показать, куда идти и все? Нет, мне не нужна канализация. Привет.
Good evening, Miss Price. I'm Dr. Reed. Do you remember me?
Dr. Reed? Yes, of course. You are the doctor who healed me and my mum. Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Good to see you too, Carol. Are you all right?
А я вот тебя не помню.
I did not hurt myself recently. I know how to take care of myself now. I'm almost a grown-up.
What can you tell me of the people living nearby?
I don't speak to many people, except our customers. It's not easy to make friends. And with the epidemic, it's even more difficult.
Have you no friends at all?
No. Mr. Nithicut used to pass by and was always nice to me.
Does he not come by anymore?
No. Mum said he was weird. Always reciting poetry about a girl he'd met in Whitechapel. I wonder who this camellia may be.
О, а я знаю. И они
What
все
can you tell me
сдохли.
about the epidemic?
Some of our regular customers have left London. Some others only send their housemaids now. Everybody fears the contagion. I've even seen men with weapons.
Окей.
Why are you awake at night, Carol?
I am helping my mother in her shop. It's not easy, but I'm a grown-up now.
Why is work not easy? Is something or someone bothering you?
Oh no, most people are gentle with me. But I'm so nervous sometimes. I pay no attention and hurt myself. Good thing my mum learned first aid.
Окей.
I'm sure your mother is grateful for your help.
I do the best I can. But I'm so clumsy sometimes. I drop things. I injure myself. It's a good thing my mother has the patience of an angel.
Какая-то она немножечко поехавшая.
Do you enjoy working with your mother?
Oh yes, Doctor. My mother raised me alone after my father died. We've always lived together, and she has always watched over me.
Do you remember your father?
No, I was just a baby then. My mother always told me how strong and good he was.
Do you ever think about getting married now you're a woman?
Oh no, Dr. Reed. Mum always says I'm still a child who has no idea how tough life can be. No husband would like a clumsy girl like me.
Ну ок.
Have you ever met the famous Aloysius Dawson?
Yes, a very strange man. Not very nice.
What do you mean?
He said he was ready to pay good money for rare books, and then laughed at what we showed him.
Окей.
Goodbye, Carol.
I am sorry, I can't help you, sir. Perhaps you should talk with someone.
Good evening, Miss Price. How are you tonight?
Dr. Reed, I didn't know you had returned from the war. I had a new doctor when you left, but he's not as kind as you.
Always glad to see a former patient in good condition. It's been a long time.
Too long indeed. And as a token of my appreciation, I'll grant you the best price if you fancy buying anything from my humble shop.
Окей, это все прекрасно, конечно.
Have you noticed anything in particular in this part of town recently?
Other than you coming back to cheer me up? Nothing at all, Dr. Reed.
What can you tell me about yourself, Miss Price?
I'm still managing my shop. The only difference is, since the quarantine, we're open at night. You, on the contrary, seem to have changed a lot.
Really? Have I changed that much? It must have been the war and the night shifts since my return.
Don't get me wrong, Dr. Reed, you're still handsome. Just maybe a little bit wiser, more serious. It suits you well.
Tell me more about yourself. No new fiancé? I remember you were hoping to get remarried. I'm sure you must have a few suitors.
Who would marry an old bat like myself with a grown daughter and a little business? As you know, I only fancy handsome men
Оу,
like yourself.
бабуля, уймись. Уймись, бабуля.
Carol's gratitude is exemplary. She seems determined never to leave you.
I'm taking care of my daughter as well as I can. It's not always easy, but she's the best gift life gave me.
But she'll probably leave you someday to live her own life. Will that be difficult for you?
Why would she leave? Children sometimes stay with their parents until the end, for they know no one else will love them as much.
Так, это не очень хорошая затея на самом деле.
Does your daughter still worry you, Miss Price? I remember you were often concerned about her health when she was younger.
Have you not seen Carol since you returned? She's almost a young woman now, but she'll always remain my sweet little baby.
So you're less afraid?
Some things never change. Carol is still too clumsy for her own good. Sometimes her innocence puts her in real danger.
You have every reason to be cautious, Miss Price.
Ну,
Especially
тут
in
как
these
бы да,
difficult
такое.
times.
Maybe you could talk with her, Dr. Reed. It would be nice to have a man here more often. We would both feel safer.
Оу.
Why would her innocence put her in danger?
She does not realize how cruel life can be. Maybe I was a bad mother to protect her too much. My poor dear Carol.
Ну, тоже такое.
Do you know Aloysius Dawson?
Everybody knows him. He's only been to my shop once, though, looking for rare books and other intriguing antiques.
Did he buy something from you?
No, he left quickly. He almost laughed at my goods. Mr. Dawson may be a rich man, but you can't buy good manners.
But isn't Aloysius Dawson known for his philanthropy?
That was before his brother Robert died in an aeroplane crash. Since then, the remaining twin has turned into a heartless tycoon.
Ой, интересно-то как, а. Так, короче.
Goodbye for now.
I hope you can stay a little
Такие вот тут дела. Хотя я думал, там кто-то еще, а
My
там...
mother always
Так. А, ну тут больше ничего нету.
Goodbye.
Гудбай. Гудбай, разъебай. Так, ну это, видимо, вот тот самый Алоизич. Как вот мне, блять, в его особняк попасть, я вообще понятия не имею. Ладно, давайте с индусом поговорим. Не знаю, зачем он мне. Но вариантов-то тут, честно говоря, не богато. А там потом, может быть, что-то как-то это... Но я чувствую, с Алоизичем мы поговорим несколько позже. Преступное уничтожение знаний. Вампиры опасны, смертельно опасны. Иногда они жестоки. Это факт, с которым я не буду спорить. Именно поэтому мы должны понять, кто они, и достичь с ними взаимопонимания. Вы помните, как в 1548 году один из нас наконец разыскал Иосифа Флавия в Испании и побеседовал с ним? Вы помните, как каждый из тщательно подобранных слов вампира восхищал нас? Как его речь назвали окном в прошлое, о котором у нас остались лишь апривочные представления? Так вот, Иосифа Флавия больше нет. Несколько недель назад его убили охотники Ватикана. С ним исчезла сокровищница знаний об истоках нашей цивилизации. Это, возможно, столь же чудовищное преступление, как и убийство невинного человека вампиром. Именно поэтому действия стражей Примана столь же преступны, сколь и бессмысленны. Каждый раз, когда они выслеживают одного из древних вампиров Англии, они вместо того, чтобы обращаться с ним осторожно и уважительно, уничтожают то общее, что связывает нас с бессмертными. Они лишают нас возможности великой охоты преступления, потому что охотники бездумно уничтожают слова и мысли. Окей.
Jonathan Reed. At last we meet. The cards warned me you would visit tonight.
I beg your pardon, sir. Do I know you?
Of course you do. Our mutual friend, Dr. Swansea, can't speak highly enough of you. My name is Usher. Usher Talltree.
You are the leader of the Brotherhood, are you not?
Primate of the Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole, to be precise. I'm really glad we met tonight. I love it when the cards tell me.
О, блин.
The cards told you to expect me.
Yes, they tell me everything. They've told me of your unquenchable thirst for blood. Be wary, Ekon. I've heard such a rich diet can be bad for the heart.
Ох, как весело-то, а. Так.
Can you read the cards for me?
Are you sure you want to know what they will reveal?
Yes, I am.
It will cost you 150 shillings.
Окей.
Here is the money.
Redemption. A strong man eager to help and support the weak. A criminal who redeemed himself. A better life, rebuilt from scratch.
Can you read the
Put the money on the table.
Perhaps later. What can you tell me about the neighborhood?
I really don't know. I don't often go outside. And when I do, it's usually to quite distant destinations.
So you see nothing in the stars for me? You're a poor fortune teller then.
Oh, I can tell you many things, but they will only concern you, not the city. For example, I know that you offered your sister the final rest she asked for.
Do the cards speak of my Mary?
No. It's the burning aura of guilt that precedes you everywhere you go.
Read my fortune then.
You have been chosen, Jonathan. I see on you the mark of a strong being, so powerful it needn't even reveal its strength.
Окей. Чё еще?
Tell me about yourself. What do you do here, besides turning cards in the middle of the night?
I'm for most a charlatan. For a few, I'm a vampire. And for you, I'm the primate of St. Paul's Stole.
Примат?
Some believe you to be a vampire. Who?
The guard of Priwen, who else? For a time, they sent spies to observe my activities, and they even broke into my home to gather proof.
Did they steal anything from you?
A personal notebook they quickly took to their headquarters. All they had to do is to look at me. I'm aging. What better and definite proof that I'm not an immortal?
Do you want your notebook back?
If you ever find it, I'd be glad to have it back, of course. I do ask one thing, though. Do not read it, Jonathan. Some secrets are not meant to be revealed, even to immortals.
Окей.
For how long have you been a primate?
It was 15 years last year.
What do you make of Dr. Swansea?
Edgar is a brilliant and dedicated man. A man of his time, sometimes a little muddled, but always looking for new paths and new concepts.
Окей. Чё еще расскажешь?
May I ask you about the Brotherhood?
Of course, but I must warn you that there are some subjects we consider taboo, in spite of our fondness and acceptance of your kind.
I know there is no love lost between the Guard of Priwen and the Brotherhood. What caused this rift?
It was 1801. The Brotherhood was stronger then, a strength that made them hungry for ever greater power. An argument divided them, and the wound never healed.
What was the nature of the disagreement?
The problem was that both sides considered themselves the legitimate heirs of the original Brotherhood. We divide up the books, the relics, not always fairly or with consideration.
Окей.
Who founded the Brotherhood?
That's precisely the kind of question I cannot answer. It is delicate and may reveal some of our secret traditions.
So you're not just a club of academics and scholars.
Once upon a time, very long ago, the Brotherhood did more than simply study the vampires. They took actions to eliminate the more ferocious and corrupted.
Окей.
How did you learn about Mary? And spare me the hocus-pocus parlor tricks. The truth, now!
Swansea told me. Don't look at me like that. His task is to observe and gather information about vampires. He had to tell me about Mary.
She could have survived as a vampire. If only she had given me a chance to explain. If only I could have found the words.
Not all vampires accept their new condition. Since suicide is impossible, you have to find a way to get someone else to relieve the pain.
I could have saved her.
No, Jonathan.
Окей.
How do you measure the amount of blood on my hands?
I told you. The cards always tell the truth. Well, most of the time.
Is it possible to tell me my future?
A vampire's fate is much more delicate to read, Doctor. But I can try.
All right. Let me hear it.
You'll cast your heart into the fire without hesitation, Jonathan. For pain is only for the mortals.
I would rather not know. How do you measure?
I told you.
Is it possible?
Vampire.
Так, ну, короче,
Is there
ладно.
anything you could tell me about Aloysius Dawson?
Aloysius Dawson. Yes, of course. We met on several occasions. With time, he got deeper and deeper into the occult.
He's not the only one. It's been quite the fashion for several decades. The Golden Dawn, for instance, is just one example.
True. Aloysius was a member of the Golden Dawn until 1900. Then his thirst for dark knowledge grew. I'm talking forbidden texts, readings which blackened his heart.
Окей.
Goodbye, sir. Until we meet again.
I rarely wander, yet it amuses me to converse with your kind. Perhaps London will survive
Ладно,
the
ладно.
epidemic, but I
Не
see
знаю, когда и где мы там
waiting in the future.
найдем этого деда, но явно не на этой неделе. Собственно, пока что, наверное, на сегодня все. Ставьте лайки, подписывайтесь. Всем пока.